If we have, say, 7,000 acres of land of FCI or 3,500 acres of CWC, Central Warehousing Corporation land, then, and a lot of land is vacant, or many of the godowns are end of life godowns, so they have spent 60 years or so. So they will rebuild that infrastructure, warehousing infrastructure, keep it for 25, 30 years, run it, manage it, and in the process, they will bring in greater productivity, better efficiency, and also earn revenue. So without any government investment on the land which was lying vacant, government will mobilize about 30,000 crore in warehousing sector alone. So this is how it is going to work.
So many of you, I don't know how many of you have gone to see the stadiums which were built during the Commonwealth Games. I had some time back gone to see a play there, and they're in really bad shape. In stadium, and there's one stadium which has been made in Gujarat when PM was the CM, Trans Stadia. You should see it's now being used 24/7, round the clock. There are colleges in the areas running, there's being run for sports, for coaching center, for a whole range of things, 24/7, round the clock. So you can, actually a stadia can become the heart of the city by a whole range of activities. So the intention is that vast areas in the city are lying with stadiums which are not even being utilized 1 to 2%. The capacity utilization is 1% or 2%. We need to take it to 110, 120% to drive the economy. That's what's required. So private sector will come in for a defined time period, invest its own money. Instead of the government spending money, the private sector comes in, spends money, sportsmen are able to use it, local community can use it, do a whole range of sports. It can, other infrastructure on the side can be used for a vast range of other things. And stadiums can become brand new.
Can you give us examples of what kind of time period for different sectors?
So, for all in 4 years. We showed you phasing, year by year by year by year phasing of the asset monetization pipeline. And each project which will be put out will be taken through a transparent competitive bidding.
So like a stadium goes out for how many years? Do you have any?
That's a part of, that's why we have transaction advisors. Transaction advisors structure the period, the contractual agreements, the KPIs, everything. Yeah, 20.
मैं लक्ष्मण CNBC आवाज़ से जैसा कि आपने कहा कि इसमें लैंड एसेट को शामिल नहीं किया गया है और जहाँ तक कि मैं समझ पा रहा हूँ नॉन कोर एसेट भी शामिल नहीं है, तो उनके मोनेटाइजेशन को लेकर क्या आगे आपका प्लान है? क्या इस तरह कोई पाइपलाइन लॉन्च करेंगे? दूसरा सवाल कि आज आपने इन्फोसिस के CEO से मुलाकात की इनकम टैक्स पोर्टल को लेकर, अगर कुछ अपडेट दे सकें प्लीज़।
आज नेशनल मोनेटाइजेशन पाइपलाइन के ऊपर पहले प्रश्न पूछिए, उसका जवाब तो मिल रहा है, बाद में बात करेंगे उसके ऊपर।
Ma'am, you spoke a lot about, state and center and how you are, pushing infrastructure and everything else. As Mr. Niti Aayog, both the CEO as well as the chairman, vice chairman have pointed out, this is a partnership which will require states. How much of that 88,000 crores this year, 1.5 next year, and the 6 lakh, how much will it be divided between center and state in terms of asset monetization? And how are you going to, handhold them, states, in getting this, though they are already on board?
At this point, the list of assets which are coming here are all central government's assets. We are not talking about states. What I came in with, the funds which we are giving for states, are for their own PSUs. But where we are saying if they do the PSU, we'll give them matching, is without including them here, but if they do it, I'm saying I have made provisions even for that. But this pipeline is purely of the Government of India assets.
And this money will be a revenue for you, or you'll reutilize it? How will you use this asset money?
So two things. One is, as we've said before, that we've interacted with the state governments. We've had 5 workshops with the state governments. There are several concepts which are new. And therefore, the first volume of this asset monetization pipeline is about concepts and new models which have come up. And these are new models, and actually India is a leader in many of these new models, which Power Grid and roads have demonstrated. And this workshops with the states show that there's huge interest in the states, massive interest in the states. And therefore, 26 states have appointed their nodal officers, and 4 or 5 states have already prepared their pipelines. You know, because of the second wave of COVID, we were a little slow. Now we're going to push really hard in partnership with the states. Like we've done with the ministry, we feel this will bring huge efficiency in India and help us move the infrastructure forward. That's number one. Number two, objective is that instead of government providing money through the budgetary sources for infrastructure creation, existing infrastructure are better managed through private sector, and that money is used for more and more and more and more infrastructure creation. Why should the government of India, finance minister, provide outlays to the road sector if road sector can raise more and more resources and provide?
So it will be a capital expenditure.
Of course, of course. 110, please.
Yeah, good evening to everybody. I'm Nivedita Mukherjee from the Financial Express. So as you said, you're drawing a good response from on the various sectors. So does this response also reflect the interest of the international community, global investors, given India's growth prospects and all?
So let me say that this entire plan is not merely workshop with the ministries. Right after the budget, the Honorable Prime Minister directed that we hold webinars with stakeholders. So we'd held a whole range of webinars, and then subsequently we've held webinars with a lot of stakeholders and all the top investors of the world. BlackRock, Blackstone, Macquarie, all of them have shown interest in these. The important thing for all of us to understand is that these are de-risked projects, and therefore, they will find it, foreign investors will find it easier to structure InvITs and REITs and get resources. And while we get the resources, we'll find it easier to invest in greenfield projects. Number 9, we can have the last 2 questions.
So you said there are a number of models which the first volume has suggested. Would it also require changes in the various regulations, the regulatory frameworks which are available? Is that also a suggestion which is being made?
So I also said that a huge work has been done on the regulatory side, and I placed on record our deep appreciation in the finance bill, a number of issues which foreign investors had raised on InvITs and REITs, all have been sorted out. All issues were sorted out, and that's why it was possible for us to get Power Grids to get the investment in the transmission line. If you have to get investment in pipelines, look at the vast number of pipelines which GAIL has, Indian Oil has, all of this we'll be able to structure through InvITs and REITs. It remains with the government, but we are able to structure a revenue stream through InvITs and REITs. Yeah, one last question. Anybody else who's 156?
Yeah. Sir, one question on railways. So has a model, monetization model for railways been finalized? Because some of the very significant railway projects like dedicated freight corridor and all, we're having some concerns with the private sector willing to participate on issues like tariff differential and all in monetization of such projects. There were concerns related to tariffs and others. So what is the status of the railway?
Chairman, Railway Board is here. It's best that he answers.
As far as railways is concerned, we have also formulated certain mechanisms by which we are going to monetize our assets. DFC is also one of them. We also have our stations, we also have trains, we also have stadiums, and we also have the hill railways and MFCs. And for all these, we have also got a structured way of going about it, because these are all different areas of work and will require a little different approach. So we are all working on that. Some of them have already been finalized, some are in the final process. But we are very sure that with the active participation, as we are looking forward to this national monetization pipeline and the interest which has been shown so far by the global investors, by the local investors, by the industry, that we would be able to achieve the targets that we have set. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. And in fact, this was the first redevelopment project, the new Moti Bagh colony. We monetize 3 acres of land where the Leela Hotel has come, and thereafter the same money was invested in making the new Moti Bagh colony. Much more space, much bigger place for the officers to live, and at the same time, without investing any money from the government. Also, ma'am, I would like to inform that in 2014, we paid back 300 crore to the National Exchequer. I mean, that 300 crore was saved and that money was paid. Next comes the East Kidwai Nagar, where we have, I mean, now you see the whole landscape has changed. Next to the AIMS, you go on that road and you find a different kind of experience. And that has again something to the tune of nearly 7,000 crore has been realized from these offices. They have been monetized, and from there the whole colony has come up. It is almost complete, the whole colony, I mean, accommodating around 4,500 people. The next is 7 colonies, sir. 7 colonies, that is monetization of nearly 32,500 crores. 7 colonies where Naroji Nagar, Netaji Nagar, Sarojini Nagar, I mean, 7 colonies are getting redeveloped using the monetization. The total value is nearly 32,500 crores. We are further going into, I mean, there have been a brick kiln in Khitorni, where again we are monetizing, and that monetization is almost 12,500 crores. So there are many places where something which is, providing accommodation to the government officials, that is a responsibility the state, central government has been doing. And for that, a lot of money was required. Rather than doing that, we have been able to use the new provisions on the master plan, use the value of the land in the most appropriate manner, and provide a much better quality of living for the officials without investment of even single money. And whatever money is being saved, that is going into the exchequer. So this is a very good example, sir.
I think we'll, ma'am, with your permission, can we conclude? So with that, we'll conclude this interaction. Thank you very much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it.